Now, for more on that story, I'm joined now by Kamogelo Nkosi, who's the Congress of South Africa's student president. Good afternoon to you, Kamogelo. I'm also guessing that as a student body, you have welcomed this decision because you have been calling for this for quite some time now.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to the viewers.
With this decision that's been taken that these matric results should not be published anymore without the consent, of course, from the learners or parents, what's your reaction been as an organization that's been calling for this since as far back as 2019?
Yes, thank you. First thing first, as the Congress of South African Students, we are very happy by the results that we've been seeing today, that the results are no longer going to be published on the newspapers, because the result matters that is between the school and the learner, is the secret between the school and the learner. So we are not happy by seeing the result being published on newspapers such as Daily Sun and on Daily Tatters and other radio platforms. So as Congress of South African Students, were very happy by seeing the statement that the results are no longer going to be published on media platforms and Daily Suns.
Yeah, and just to remind us why you were calling for this as well, you are very happy about the decision too, but the reasons behind why you didn't want these results published, what kind of effects do you see it having on students, a process that's been taking place for a couple of decades now already?
The reason why we didn't want the result to be published on newspapers is because learners, they can commit suicide for themselves if they see they are not in a good result. Maybe, for an example, if a learner didn't pass, didn't make it in matric, learners can commit suicide, and result is something that is a secret between the scholar and the school. So that's why we're saying as Cosas that we want the result to be banned in all shops, because particularly in all media platforms such as Daily Sun. So as Congress of South African Students, we didn't want to see that results being published on tag shops, to be published on Daily Suns and on social media such as Facebook and WhatsApp. So that's why we required a simple thing that a learner can register to get his results by cell phone.
Yeah, and the Information Regulator, Pansy Tlakula, speaking to the channel earlier this morning, was saying that, look, if we don't publish these results in newspapers, it doesn't mean that students are not going to get their results. They still will get their results regardless. But there are those who are saying, you know, look, this is an end of an era. It's part of the whole process as well. What do you say to them who say, look, it is part of the process of going through your schooling career and getting to that part where you go to the petrol station in the middle of the night or the wee hours of the morning to try and spot your name and see how well you did?
No. As I've said, that the results are something that it's a secret between the school and the learner. I'm not denying a learner to get the result. Learners, they can register to an SMS that we are going to be sent. That is coming from the Department of Basic Education, so that we can register to get the result. So, and we are not saying as Congress of South African Students, learners, they must not get their result. We are fully supporting learners to get their result, but also they must not be, those results must not be published on tag shops as from the on Daily Suns and newspapers.
Yeah, and just finally, Kamogelo, when you initially, as Cosas, made this call to say this is what you'd like to see happen back in 2019 following your conference meeting as well in November, how was that received initially when you initially wanted this thing to happen, as opposed to when you're comparing it to now, fast forward 5 years later, and now it's actually happened? When you first said, look, let's not do this, what was the reaction from the public?
No, as Congress of South African Students were saying, learners who are not in a good way to receive their result, they must stay humble and they must be on a good mood to receive their results. Because as the Congress of South African Students, we have a hope in learners who are writing the exams now, and we have hope that they're going to make it in the end of the year. And we don't have we're not scared. We're just waiting for the result to see that how learners they've been waiting during the year.
All right, Kamogelo, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. That's Kamogelo Nkosi, who is the president of the Congress of South African Students.